Well, WCTV is locked down the same as you, and we're sitting behind our front doors, nothing to do, no functions, no meetings, because, would you believe it, there is a virus going around and we're all locked in. Now, on the TV, there's continuous news coverage, and it's virus, 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 virus. How many people have unfortunately died? How many people have contracted it? How many? What's it like in America? What's it like here? What's it like in Turkey, China, Italy, Spain? But one thing, unless I've missed something, there's one thing that they haven't concentrated on and repeated again and again and again, is what do you do if you actually get the virus? Because most of us have a really rough time and we don't die. But what do we do? Because, it could be edgy, we could end up in hospital. So how do we minimise the chance of us going into hospital? Well, I'm authority to speak. I was a pharmacist. I'm retired now, but I've been in pharmacy since 1956. So I've come across most things. I think quite like this virus, but we've had the Asian flu and all that sort of in the late 60s, etc. So I'm not inexperienced. And I just want to put this right, this fact that no one ever sort of mentions what do you do behind your front door. You got the, oh my God, we've got the virus, what do we do? There is no simple everyday explanation. So, well, the first thing to prevent viruses, you don't catch it. Easy said, but that means you follow the rules. You don't go out, you keep your 2 meters if you have to go out, and it'd be a good idea actually to wear these rubber gloves. That's not bad. A mask is a bit over the top, but it's sensible to wear gloves, because it's most of the places that you get the virus, it's not people sneezing over you, it's you touch a door handle, a lavatory door handle, or a trolley handle, and you touch don't wash your hands, touch your face, and boom, you got it. And if there's a lot of virus particles on that, then you will get it bad, and you're going to be really unlucky. So the first thing is you take all the things that they say. But now let's concentrate on a normal healthy person. Unfortunately, my wife and I had it, and my grandson had it quite badly. So we'll use ourselves as a model, shall we say, because we can then speak with a bit of authority. Well, you need a medicine chest, a little sort of war chest to have in. So you haven't gone out, you've obeyed all that, but unlucky enough you've got the virus, or your youngster comes in, husband, wife comes in with the virus. What do you do? Well, the first thing is, the virus first appears as if you're, oh God, I've got a cold coming, and you feel that sort of funny, dry feeling in the back of your throat. You got a cold coming. Now this is the unofficial bit, and this is my saying it, but I've always found over the years it doesn't cure, but it minimises a cold and flu sort of thing, and that is a really large dose of vitamin C, about 1,000 milligrams, 1 gram, once a day, twice a day, just in the first few days, and it just takes the edge off the attack. And believe me, if you have a full attack, you'll be really pleased to take about a 5% off of it off. So that's the first thing. Vitamin C in large dose, just for the first few days, wham, 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 when you think you've got it coming. One of the next thing you'll probably take, you won't feel very you'll feel a bit of a malaise. You won't feel up to much. But the next thing that really will trouble you is probably a very sore throat. Now, there is no cure. There's no tablets, no vaccine, no medicine, no magic Facebook remedy to go and cure it. You can't cure it, so you can only relieve it. But relieving it takes you just that little bit away from being bad enough to go into hospital and well enough to stay at home. So that's critical. So sore throat. Oh, and you do what you would normally do, but do it with thought. And that is, you get some Strepsils and you take, or there are other brands, but I know Strepsils. You get Strepsils and you suck the maximum you can in the day, spread them out during the day and spread them out. Get that throat sort of soothed. Okay, then it's inflamed. A sore throat is inflammation, so you buy anti-inflammatories. Commonest one you can buy, because you can buy them anywhere in any supermarket in small quantities, although you might need a couple of packets if you can get them, and that is ibuprofen, 400 milligram, 1 tablet, 3 times a day, I think. Read the packets always, and you take your ibuprofen 3 times a day, and that will get the inflammation down. You can also get, instead of ibuprofen, if you know what you're doing, is diclofenac tablets. Trade name is Voltarol. You have to go to a pharmacy for them, and they're quite potent anti-inflammatories. You could use them either instead of ibuprofen. But along with the ibuprofen, you'll need paracetamol. Now, paracetamol and ibuprofen don't actually add together, so you can take both, and you're not going to, as long as you stick to the maximum dose of 3 400 milligram tablets of ibuprofen and 8 500 milligram tablets of paracetamol, 2 at a time, you'll be all right. And that will also help. The paracetamol are not so anti-inflammatory, but they will take the edge of the heat, help the edge of the pain off. And what I usually do is you take the ibuprofen, leave it 2 hours, take your paracetamol, leave it 2 hours, take your ibuprofen again. And that's your sore throat. Now, there are other things you can do. Is ice cream is lovely, cools the throat, soothes the throat. Cold water, anything nice to soothe the throat. Because that inflammation, so you know why you've got to take it seriously, is that inflammation can go downwards, which is not good at all. But it's found out that it goes into your ear, nose and throat cavity, the inflammation, and it can get into your ears, and there's 1 or 2 cases where some people have had slightly temporary impaired hearing. So you really do take you really must take this sort of sore throat. It's not just a sore throat, it's the virus sore throat, and it's attacking your body. Right, so and then the next thing, sore throat, is you get a soaring temperature. Now, your normal body temperature is 37 degrees centigrade. You should have a thermometer at home. You will need one. If it goes up to 40 or near 40, you really must do something urgently, because 40 degrees is not a good temperature for our bodies, because things could after a while, if you leave it, things start to shut down, and it's not good. So what do? Well, the first thing is you whip their clothes off. Okay, perhaps leave their pants on, but you whip their clothes off. For God's sake, don't put them into bed and put a thick duvet over them. That is just about the worst thing you can do. Okay, so you strip them off, And if the temperature gets really out of control, I mean, you can get hallucinations, etc. You know, it's a sign of high temperatures. But get the patient in a shower, a tepid shower, and shower them down to cool them down. And then when you get them out, don't dry them, just pat them down perhaps, but you let the water evaporate off the body, because that is actually will lower the temperature even more. And then you've got ice cold drinks. If you've got an ice maker or something, good, really cold drinks, get them inside, drink as much as you can, get that temperature down. Ice cold drinks, tepid showers, paracetamol, which you should be taking anyway, all will help to control your temperature. And that is probably one of the key things that control your inflammation and your temperature. Okay, now you hear about breathlessness. Well, now things are now getting serious there. You should really, if the patient starts getting breathless, you should phone 111 sort of quite away. They will probably ask you, can the patient count from 1 to 10 in one breath? And if they can do that, they might say, well, keep in touch, but you're okay for the moment. And they'll give you advice similar to probably what I've just given. And really, if you can stay out of hospital, good, because it's not, you know, that really is a last resort. Poor devils, they're desperately busy, and also ventilation is not pleasant at all, and it's got its own problems. So there we go. But you phone 111, and that's really all I can say there. Breathlessness, there is no. You just really you need medical help there, and well, it's advice, because it can be frightening, and it might be that the breathlessness is mild, which in our case, thank God, it was. So it's not always sort of death's door stuff. It's in our case, the breathlessness was fairly mild, and it lasted just barely, not a day, and then it's gone. But if you do get somebody even with mild breathlessness, don't lay them down in bed. You sit, I mean, at the worst, you sit them up in a chair next to the bed, but you sit them up, because if you lay flat, the oxygen in your bloodstream, the saturation is worse. Your lungs work much better upright, and you can oxygenate your body far better, and the pneumonia, which is sort of knocking on your door all the time while you've got this complaint, is under control, and you will not, and it will keep it at bay. So keep upright. Well, that just leaves us with the dry cough, which we all hear about. Well, if you're coughing when you've actually got it, now our cough was pretty mild, but if you have a cough, well, don't do anything about it when you've got it, because that cough it's got a job. It's a natural defense mechanism of your body, and it's probably trying to clear the lungs of any fluid that may be there, and that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. So you cough, you put up with it, unless it's really too distressing, but put up with it while you've got the virus attack. Afterwards, you are actually often left with a viral cough, and that is not on your chest. There's a cough centre up in the brain, and the virus attacks it, and you get that sort of urge to cough all the time, and it's not down here, it's up here, and Focaldine linctus. Don't buy proprietary medicines. Go to the chemist and ask for Focaldine. It's much cheaper and it works. And sometimes these patent ones are just a load of syrups and soothing stuff which you don't need. You've gone past that. You need something to sedate that cough centre there, and that stops the coughing. And that's really all I can say. I do hope you don't need my advice. I really do, but you never know. And good luck, good health, and goodbye.